Morning, everybody. Tuesday, November 10th. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. I will not be recording, of course, because it's Wednesday, but we did want to take the time and recognize those who have served, those who are currently serving. I sincerely appreciate the service that you put in. I know a lot of amazing people that have put their life on hold to go and to serve our country. And there's many that have taken that into as a career path. And I've noticed that everybody that has taken that career path very seriously, you've seen a change from the individual who they were to the individual that they become. And as an employer, you love that kind of discipline in folks. And it doesn't mean you have to go serve the military to in the military to get disciplined. People can be very disciplined otherwise, but that is one way you get extremely disciplined. So thank you all for the sacrifice. Those who have put that time forth, and those who are going to put that time forth, and are currently putting that time forth. So today, going into that, well, background. This is actually Adam Vinatieri's ranch up in Fulton, Missouri. And we filmed an episode of the Quit Jerking Off Initiative, and I'll just show you the page here so you can go check it out. This is the YouTube channel, youtube.com/quit jerking off/videos. So you can't have a G in the jerking part. So you got to take a look at this right here. And if you want to go check it out, episode number 10. It was a really, really, really good time. We were able to spend there with Adam. So myself, my partners, Joel and Floyd, and Chris, our camera guy. Clint, unfortunately, was not able to make it and participate in that. We really missed him, but this was a real good time. It was a really great conversation with myself and Adam sitting in a blind together, talking about some of his life. So take the time. It's only 10 minutes, and it's phenomenal. The insights he gives, and he'll be able to talk about the hard work he had to put in very, very young to end up with where he was. I'll tell you guys, sometimes huge difficulties, and even when you're young, show it to your kids, those who are struggling in school and those who are not. I mean, you get to see for those who are pushing hard at the early onset of life, what's possible. So that to me was one of the great stories. Lots of great stories there. I mean, I can't every single one of those 9 other episodes of those folks, listen to what they've had to say. Extremely good information there. And it's not just regular business leaders or real estate investment stuff. It's not people talking about real estate, not people talking about finance, people talking about life. So put the time in, check that out. So let's talk about the market. Market is all over the place right now. Big gap ups, big gap downs, major jumps in the openings. I mean, you can see just with where we were on the 6th, where it closed out, and then where it opened up the following day, gap down, opening, and it dropped way down. This was yesterday, and it worked its way back. Today, it actually opened in a at the same spot where it closed yesterday, and it started to work down. But it looks like we do have a new channel formed. And what's interesting about this, a lot of speculation, right? Is the stock market thrives on certainty, the bond market thrives on uncertainty, but then you've got all kinds of uncertainty these last few weeks with what's going on with politics. And again, I can go in and piss and moan about the politics side of it as much as anybody, about how we shouldn't even be worried about that. Whoever goes into office should just continuing the basis of what our country has started on and what its foundation is and where it's supposed to continue. But that's not happening. We know. I'm not going to get into personal agendas and stuff, but when you look at that, there is some swings all over the place. I think bonds are looking for some sort of reason to climb up, but again, the uncertainty piece of it, that is where it usually thrives. Now, a little bit of new thought process here. I don't know if this is good news for bonds or for what. But when we think about what's going on here with that, the stock market just skyrocketed 1,700 points yesterday is what it had seen, which to me is amazing to see that much going on. But what I'm thinking here, that so-called certainty of the election presently, but there's the rumblings of contesting the election. There's going to be doing an audit of many of the votes, especially all those weird things that happen with certain states. There may be some uncertainty coming, and with that uncertainty coming could affect rates to the positive. Kind of hard to say. Even if it didn't at all, even if we gap down and we end up in this new trend, which is lower than what we've been in some time. You go all the way back, it's lower than we were back in March 25th. That's where we got above that with the Fed injecting trillions into the market. Well, actually over $1 trillion into the market to get to the end of that, which was April, end of April there, or beginning of April, they stopped dumping all the capital in, but we're still higher than where we were at our highest point before the COVID situation and interrupted our markets and started the markets to plunge. So Still in a better shape there. If you look at the trend over the long-term trend, the 200-day moving average, if it continues following that, rebounding back into the 200-day moving average and using that as its baseline, we may continue to see some improvement. Another thing I do know about bonds, they do like to retrace at least 50% of their losses. So if this is our peak and this is our low, a lot of times it does like to retrace about midway. That would put us above the 100-day moving average and above all the other averages. So it's hard to call what's going to happen. We have way too much madness out there, and it is extreme madness. There is a lot of information floating all over the place about what's going to happen, a lot of speculation, a lot of I can't begin to tell you the videos and the emails and the texts and the shares I'm getting. I don't have a chance to look at them. I can't really break them down that much for you guys. I'd love to be able to break them down because we're trying to keep above water ourselves. We lost a key person in our staff recently, overwhelmed. She just literally got buried and says, I'm out. Right? I've got an enormous amount of calls asking, why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? Guys, because the industry is overwhelmed. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I'm going to say it again. Here again, the industry is built to handle $2.5 trillion in volume per year. That's what the industry is built around. There's from what I understand, over 4 trillion in demand right now. That doesn't include what's already closed this year. I've closed 1,100 transactions this year, right about that. We still have more to close. We have a lot more to close. There's such extreme demand. I've got people, just freaking out about having to extend contracts. Well, you shouldn't have wrote the contract for 22 days to begin with. Absolute insanity. 30 days is a push these days. 40 days seems more reasonable, but if you got people saying, well, nobody's going to take my offer, well, I think the people accepting offers need to understand what's going on in the market, get real with what's happening, and quit trying to push envelopes. All you're going to do is end up the envelope pushed anyway. It's just going to happen. So quit your bitching and let's just work together to make it happen. And I'm talking on the seller side. I'm talking about the people out there listing their houses and having their agent put it out there. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the people that do not understand the market. And unfortunately, their agent is not helping them. Now, turnkey sellers, they get it. Your real estate investment groups, they get it. The individual sellers out there, they need to be educated, folks, and we're not educating them. So if you're a listing agent and you're not educating your client on the market, you're doing it a disservice. If you are a seller and you have a listing agent that says we should list this and take the shortest offer, and it's not cash, disservice. You need to look at that agent and understand whether or not they're doing things in your best interest. It's not about who closes fast, it's about who closes with certainty. It may not be swift, but it's certain. That's what you want, is certainty. And certainty in the closing with my team, it's going to happen. But we also need to understand what's going on in the market. There's a lot of things that are swinging around we don't have control over. We control what we can control. The other stuff we will acknowledge and let you know what we can control. And we hope that you can accept what we're giving you as the best case scenario is the best that we can possibly pull off, knowing that there's other parties here that we can't control in that. But we'll continue to do what we're going to do. We're going to continue to push hard. We're going to continue to work our guts out and just ask for your partnership in it. You communicate. As long as we're doing that, we will find that closed transaction. You can move on to the next one. But it's really funny. You get really, really stressed out. This is me as well, about when am I going to close? When am I going to close? Then you finally close. What that sigh of relief is, 10 seconds. You're like, okay, what's next? So it's really interesting. We drive ourselves nuts for that one thing just for it to be like, oh, what's next? So appreciate you watching. Appreciate you sharing. Appreciate you subscribing. Appreciate you going to Quit Jerking Off Initiative. Go check it out. Again, youtube.com/quitjerkingoff/videos. And also go to the website, aaron.chapman.com. Look at the donate button. Check and see where we're at. If you've closed a transaction recently, $50 is all we're asking. It's going to go to better cause than any of us could ever come up with. Thank you. I appreciate you.